So you want to know about tax sale overages training. Well, I'm the guy to talk to because I pretty much founded the tax sale overages business. I can tell you about what we offer, and I'll tell you where I think issues are with other offerings, and I'll tell you what I think you should do. I think, and I'm proud to say, I think our training is absolutely the best that there is in the tax overages recovery business. And why I think that is because I've been in this business since 2014. I've been an attorney since 1995. I really know this business inside and out, and I completely believe in this business. So we have what I'm pretty sure is the biggest overages recovery business in the country. And what we share with our students is how to do what we do. And what do we do in this business? Well, first we pick great states and great counties to operate in. Obviously some states are better than others, some counties are better than others, some have more overages than others. There's huge amounts of opportunity because there are thousands of foreclosure sales every day, but some are better than others. So because we have so much experience and we work all over the country, we guide our students to where are the best states and the best counties to work in. And thankfully, there's a huge opportunity, so you don't need to worry too much about competition, but first you figure that out. Second, you got to figure out, well, all right, I'm going to do it there. How does the process work? And where do I get the lists and how does it work? To start with, the process is going to be one of two things. In some states, it's a non-judicial process, meaning that you just apply for the money by a county office that did the foreclosing. In other states, you have to apply in court for the money through something called a petition. I recommend when you're starting out that you start in the states where it's a non-judicial process. We're just applying with a county office. Why do I say that? Because it's free to do. You don't have to pay any money to do that application. If you're working in a place where you have to go to court to get the money, you got to pay an attorney to do that. And I would prefer, especially if you're starting out the business, to work in those places where it's administrative in nature, where you're just applying. Thankfully, that's most states are that way. There are many less that are judicial. So thankfully, it's that way. But again, that's in a part of our education. We're teaching you, as one of our students, where is it an administrative process versus judicial? And if I'm in judicial, how would I do that? Because we have ways of doing judicial that really keep the costs down, especially up front. That's beyond where I can get to in this video. But we teach that, so you need to know that distinction. Next, you need to know, how do I get the contact information for these people, and what are the legal ways to contact them? Because I can tell you, there's some people out there teaching that are teaching illegal ways to contact people, and it is just bad. You don't want to set yourself up where you have to kind of look over your shoulder all the time because you're doing something wrong. Instead, there are perfectly legal, ethical, and moral ways to do this business that are really simple, really straightforward, and just the way to do it. So we show you how to do that, but the first step, find the good contact information. So we teach all of our students exactly how to find the contact information. For most people doing a search, they can find the contact information for any given person within 10 to 15 minutes. And even our newer students who are just getting started in it will get good contact info 50 to 60% of the time. Now, as people get more advanced, they get more advanced tools, they get their business going, they can probably get more between 70 and 80% of the time they'll get good contact information. That's generally where we are. That 7 to 8 out of 10 times we get the person's contact info. We're going to have their mailing address, their phone number, their cell phone number, their social media IDs, so we can contact them. And it gives us a whole wide range of ways to contact them. And of course, we contact them more than one way. There are optimal mixes of ways to contact. So because, at least with us, we have so much experience, we're showing what those optimal mixes are. Because a multi-channel approach where you're talking to people on the phone, you're texting people, you're doing direct mail with them. And especially, these things you have to do in certain timing. You can't just text people out of the blue, but when you're already talking to someone, if you ask permission, you can certainly text them, but you have to ask that. So we teach you all of those things, exactly how to do that legally and ethically, most importantly, effectively. Because you need to make sure that when you're talking to people, you're able to get them past what is going to be a natural reluctance and distrust. Most people we talk to, the first time that they hear from us is the first time they've ever realized there could be any unclaimed money that they're owned. They have no idea where it is, how it came about, how to get it, nothing like that. So there's a script that we developed, meaning literally a script that you read, that walks them through, hopefully from a state of shock and disbelief and skepticism to, you know what, maybe this is possible, maybe I should try this. And then to, let me give it a try. And so we give you a call script that takes you from A to Z, how to walk people through. Now, will everybody do it? No. I'm not going to tell you that. That's without a doubt, not everybody will do it. Many people are stuck in their skepticism and doubt, and some people will never come out of it. I can tell you, if you continue to pursue them and you keep your head together, then lots of people will work with you. But that is where the core of the business is. That's the part that you have to be really good at, is talking to people and getting them from, I can't believe I could be owed any money, to maybe I am, maybe I can get some money and it's no risk to me, why not give it a try? Then you need to get them signed up. I can tell you as an attorney, I've seen some doozies of contracts out there that I wouldn't ever recommend anybody sign. We've been in this business for over 10 years. Our contracts are impeccable. Our contracts are effective. They make sure that you get paid. They make sure that everything is on the up and up and completely legal. I'm very proud of our work in that respect. And I've seen some other courses, and I'm not proud of that stuff, and you shouldn't be using it. But they don't know. There are people that are trying to teach this business that they don't have the background. They probably know something about the business, meaning they've made a couple of overages recoveries, but they really don't have the background. They decided that instead of doing the business, they're going to teach the business to try to make money, which I think is a ridiculous thing to do. But that's what some people do just because they're quick buck artists. Anyway, be really cautious about that stuff. If you get contracts to sign from a non-lawyer, have a lawyer review them, because these guys often don't know what they're doing and they just make junk. And you don't want to have your $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 worth of profit resting on a junk contract, because you'll find out it's junk and doesn't work after it's too late. And then you'll be disappointed. And that's just a ridiculous place to be. So, I would just say, make sure what you need is a fee agreement, which is contingent upon successful recovery. You need a power of attorney so that you can just do everything you need to do without them having to do everything. So you need the power of attorney. You need the county claim form filled in and signed by them and notarized. And you need to make sure you do things in the right order, because if you tell them where the money is before they sign your contract, you're not going to get your contract signed. So make sure that whatever training you're contemplating teaches you how to do things in the right order. It's one of the things that we do, but just make sure that that's being done. And then you have to do the claim submission. And again, I think this is where we excel. Sometimes there are estates that you're making claims for. Sometimes it's individual heirs. Sometimes it's an LLC. Sometimes it's a corporation. Sometimes it's the old owner who's nothing special going on. You need to know how to deal with all those different scenarios, because each one has some distinctions and differences. There are differences in the contracts. There are differences in what you need them to sign, differences in the powers of attorney. So we take you through all those things. And again, as an attorney for, I guess now, since 1995, so it's an awfully long time, I know how to do that. I know how to do it correctly and powerfully so that you're secure and you'll get paid rather than something weak and flimsy. So, make sure that you're understanding that process and exactly what you need to do, because otherwise what happens, you submit the claim and the county just sends it back unpaid because you didn't do something. And then you often have to get your client to re-sign documents, and you look like an idiot because you didn't get the right documents signed up front. So I want to make sure you're in a solid position. So that's the training you need. Just in real quick summary, how to get the lists, where to operate the business, what to say to the people, how to submit the claim, and how to work through any special issues because of that claim. That's the training that you need. All that being said, it is a wonderful, wonderful business, no matter who you get your training from. I love this business because you help people who've lost everything, and you make a bunch of money for yourself, and you can make a great business. And to me, that's great business, where you're providing a highly valuable service to people that they really need and benefiting them in an enormous way, and you're making great money yourself. And I don't know what could be better than that. So this is Attorney Bob Diamond. If you want to know more about our systems and processes, then the easiest thing to do is just go down below, and you'll see a link to a 90-minute presentation that I did that really digs into the details of the overages business. The goal being to help you decide if this is a business that you want to try pursuing or not. Do you have the right personality for it? Do you have the right temperament? Is it right for you? That's what I try to do in my 90-minute presentation. So if you want to do that, just click on the link down below. That'll take you to a quick registration page where you just put in your name and an email, and we'll invite you gladly to a free presentation that I've recorded, so it's on demand. You could be watching that presentation 5 minutes from now. If you go to that link, and this will tell you if this is the right business for you. If it's the right business for you, it is a fantastic business. If it's the wrong business for you, then you'll have spent a little time, you'll have learned something, you have avoided doing something that wasn't for you, and that works perfectly well. So no matter what you do, I wish you the best of luck in your entrepreneurial journey, and hopefully overages will turn out to be right for you. If so, click on the link below and we'll be off and running together. So this is Attorney Bob Diamond, over and out for now.